Welcome everybody, how we doing today? Happy Sunday. So a little bit cooler today than it was over the last couple days. We've had beautiful weather here, especially for middle of March. Today we are going to be doing an unboxing of a new piece of equipment we bought here. Say hello to the new Turf Teq Power Rake. For a lot of you guys who watch the channel know I'm a huge Power Rake, Harley Rake, whatever you want to call them, fan. Obviously the skid loader mounted one, and I actually found myself in the market for a smaller one. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with it. I will tell you, we were dealing with Tyler from Turf Teq, and out of just about everybody that I've bought either equipment, tools, machinery from, whatever you want to call it, Tyler probably was one of the best ones to deal with. Very, very informative, non-pushy. You know, he kept me, I felt like he was very honest with me. Definitely look up Turf Teq. Tyler was great. So as far as support goes, you know, it's a brand new unit. Hopefully I don't need a whole lot of support for a little while, but I would have no doubt that the Turf Teq would obviously be very good to work with. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I was saying, this is like a multi-use unit. So this is the attachment. This is basically a Harley rake. They call it a power rake, but this whole entire thing will basically detach, and then you've got the power unit, or I think they call it the power head, whatever the case is. And you can put a broom attachment on it. You can put brush mower, bed edger, quite a few different other ones on there. Like I said, the power rake is the only thing I'm in the market for right now. It's grading and seeding is a big part of what we do as a company. But here's the head. Obviously it's got two wheels on the front. I really like that for when you're grading. Gives you two planes to work off of, makes everything more more level, of course. And then back here is the controls. I skimmed through the manual last night, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't read it page for page. I probably should, but I think I've got a pretty good idea of how this works. So here you've got your direction control, forward, reverse, and then this right here is the release for the arms up front, and that would probably come into play if you wanted to either get up close to something. And then over here, this is the swing lever, so you can actually change the angle of this, which is super nice when you're talking about grading. You're going to windrow all your material to one side. And then right here, this is what you would consider like the PTO or the engage for the head itself. So, and differential lock back here. So if you engage this right here, it'll basically drive both wheels. They say that that's good for rough grading. Transmission, you can engage or disengage freewheel, so if you ever have to tow this thing or push it. Up here you've got your throttle, so that's the stop, your idle, and run, choke, whatever. Alright, I'll be totally honest. Last night I went to go pull this in the barn after I got it off the crate, and started up like literally first pull. Put fuel in it. I checked the oil, and everything was good there. Put fuel in it. First pull, Honda engine, fired right up, perfect, just as I would have expected. Fast forward to this morning, or I'm sorry, I guess it's still morning, but fast forward to about a half hour ago, went to go pull this thing out of the barn, start it up again, and that baby would not start. And it felt to me like the motor was under a little bit of a load. And I just couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start. I ended up pulling off the air filter and just put a little shot of starting fluid in it, and it fired right up after that. So I don't know if there was something I was doing wrong. I don't think so, because like I said, it started right up for me last night. I just had a lot of trouble today, so we'll see if it starts up. Hopefully it does. That's what I was afraid of. So I don't know if there's something going on with this Honda motor or what, but it started, like I said, it started up perfectly last night, and it hasn't ran since. Once I got it hasn't started well since. Once I got it started, it seemed to me like it ran fine. So I don't know. I checked. I pulled the spark plug. It's got spark. The spark plug wasn't fouled or anything, of course, because it'd be pretty unlikely being a 4-stroke motor. So I don't know. We're gonna play with this some more and see if we can figure it out. Definitely a little frustrating given that this is a brand new piece of equipment. So we'll work through it. So I got it running. I don't know. I just kept cranking. I probably pulled it maybe maybe 20 more times. It should have been warm. I ran a throttle all the way up to the choke indicator, the choke position, and it finally started. So it was already warm because I had it running for about 10 minutes. So shouldn't have needed choke, but we'll see. I'll give him a call Monday and just make sure that there wasn't anything I was doing wrong, but definitely something I want to get addressed because that's a pain in the butt. All right, so just to update you guys, I did talk to Tyler, who is the salesman, the representative I was working with from Turf Teq, and he directed me to, first off, we thought maybe it was a fuel issue, so I swapped the fuel in it, but what we ended up finding out was a problem. He talked me through it. He was super helpful, super knowledgeable. It was actually a choking issue, so the throttle cable can sometimes get a little bit out of adjustment, and he said sometimes during shipping it'll get bumped around, and walked me through the diagnosis of that, and it took me all of about 2 minutes to fix, and after that ran perfectly. So minor issue, solved the problem, thing ran perfectly after that. But anyways, we'll go ahead and we'll just start playing around with it. I've got a big project I've been working on over the last 2 days. I've got a garage addition I'm putting on right here. I tore the old one off last 2 days, so I've got a little bit of gravel I need to spread over there and some dirt I was going to clean up over here. So this will be a perfect little demo area for me because all this is going to get destroyed at some point, so I've pretty much got nothing to lose. Let's go ahead and we'll do our very first trial run. So I lied. This lever right here, I was wrong. It actually is the lever that you use to engage, to drop the wheels, basically to let that drum engage the ground. So that's probably why they tell you to read the manual thoroughly before you start running these things. Okay, we'll figure it out. First impression, it definitely does a good job. It's kind of takes a little bit of strength to move it around. Overall, I think it's doing a good job. I mean, it's just a couple of passes here, and it's creating a really nice seed bed. So luckily this all was pretty clean, or fairly clean for the most part. There's no big rocks or anything. I'm gonna actually take and set that drum, or set the arms a little deeper. So to do that, actually, I'm gonna need to come up and then pull this up. So we're gonna let that drum go deeper in the ground because it's not going really too terribly deep, which is fine. But I kind of want to see how well this quote unquote tills up the ground here. So. So just kind of getting a little used to moving it around and whatnot, but I'll be honest, I really like it. It's exactly what you want, a nice fluffed up ground. I mean, you've got just a little bit of thatch here and there, but overall I mean, we would hydro seed over this. Definitely is not a replacement for the machine mounted Harley rake, and you're not comparing apples to apples. Overall, I really like it. I think it's going to be perfect for what we want to do with it. Like I said, perfect for some of those smaller jobs where you can't fit the bigger machine into, because there's definitely a lot of those. I will say one thing, and this is just coming from a guy who's been running a full-size Harley rake on his skid. Is I would really like if that drum could reverse rotation. If that drum keeps pushing material towards you, it'll continue to grade it out. Whereas if you go forward and then come in reverse and that drum is still spinning forward, it actually kind of tills up the ground and doesn't really do a whole lot of grading at that point. It would be very difficult for them to probably engineer that. So I get it, but in a perfect world, that feature would be on there. But overall, I think it's going to be a good compliment. There's definitely going to be some learning and some getting used to on it, but I think it's going to be exactly what we're looking for. So I'll make plenty of other videos on this thing, and please, if you guys have these, have run them before, have some advice, please let me know. Like I said, it's the first time using it. Overall, I think it's going to be good. So thanks for watching.